Good morning. You are here with Nix. Happy Friday, or rather, happy Viernes. It is now August the 14th. It is 3:49 this morning. Hell is hot, and so is somebody's loins, somebody's abandoned, untouched loins. Someone's a little upset because they can't get the touch they want. They can't have it the way they want. Apparently, someone's waking up and finding out they're not Burger King. They can't exactly have it their way. Before I got on, I saw a little thumbnail about somebody getting clemency. Somebody named, I forget his name. He got clemency from Biden a while back in 2022, and it was funny listening to the story because each time that they entered in new information, the first thing I'm thinking is like, come on now, did Hunter Biden call in this favor? Because the guy that was granted clemency, he was a huge repeat offender, and what he was an offender of was something that Hunter would very much be interested in. So it was funny that the guy went through the thing in 2022, and even after he got clemency, he got right back out and started doing the same thing. That is the perfect example of taking a second chance for granted. You had a sitting president at the time give you permission to come on back outside after a severe punishment, and you run to do the same exact thing. This is exactly what enabling looks like. This is what being an idiot looks like, because he had no quitting in him. 9 times out of 10, what he could have done with that whole turning point was find something else to do. You're now just about famous because you had a sitting president interested in your plight. He was supposed to take that situation and run with it and turn it into something bigger and better. He did turn it into something bigger. However, it wasn't better. He just got more people in trouble. You see, when someone of influence gets into a situation and is able to get out, it gives others the confidence in that one person beyond themselves. They're like, well, he did it, she did it, and they got away with it. But you have to see, eventually that looks a little funny to somebody who's actually taking a chance with vouching for you. So now the United States has a bit of a problem that happened because of a little bit of enabling. And it's not that he did it on purpose, knowing that this person was going to do it again, even though it's usually a pattern if a person keeps doing something for over 10 years, a year. It says over 30 days, but we'll give it time. See, what he did was make himself a bigger target because he wouldn't sit down the first time that he got help. I don't know who needs to hear that, but they did. So he comes back out and he forms a crew because even though he did get caught, the fact that he got out and he didn't really receive the punishment he was supposed to receive, he felt as though he could get away with more. And he went about his merry business, even getting a crew to go with him. And it was easy because look at what he'd done. You see, to some of the lowbrow frontal lobe absentees that we have, their reasoning isn't good. Their reasoning is a bit backwards. Hey, he did a crime. He got out of it. Let's do a crime with him. Even though his name is on big papers. Never thinking, hey, this person did get out by the skin of his teeth. Maybe we shouldn't do this because if he gets caught. Even though this is our first time getting caught with him, if he gets caught, they're going to make an example out of 1, 2, 3, 4, everybody that's with him, because he got out by himself. Now he's got more with him. He's got a grab bag. Now he's coming in a pack. He's not a single anymore. So you see how the trick was mounted. No one knew that this would happen. Of course, no one on this earth. But this is what happens when you pray and you play with God. And 9 times out of 10, when he was in a moment of need, he did mention the big guy. Please, God, let this plea deal go. Please, God, let somebody get this letter. Somebody prayed. And this is why an example was made one way, but an example is going to be made the other way. This is why you have to be very careful when you call on the big guy. He knows how to get you out of it, but he also knows what his children need. He said, all right, I'm going to do this favor for you. I'm going to surround you with people who can put you on a whole nother trajectory, have you, if you use the chance. Now he had the chance. And he took the chance to just get more people to go down into asunder with him. So now he's caught again. And now there are more people involved in the situation. And they probably would have had maybe a first or second offense, maybe a medium offense, maybe a mediocre. Maybe somebody would have had a misdemeanor. But because he escaped the belly of the beast the first time by way of help and intercession. Now those guys are going to be made a lateral example of, just because he thought he was bigger than the program and they thought he was bigger than the program. Now they're about to go into programming. So be careful whose job, whose lick, whose operation, whose play you jump in on. You haven't the slightest idea how many times a person has played themselves before they felt like they needed somebody to help. And now you've just got a group of play. You've got game 1 and game 2. You've got player 1 and player 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 now. So maybe he should have just taken the pardon and counted his blessing and Godspeed. But he didn't do that. He went back and he got more people who had the same vibration. They might have not had the same path, might have not even had the same fate at the time, but because they could be coerced, they could be convinced, they could be pulled in so easily, now they have to go through this. And I'm thinking that all those guys, as they go through this process, they're thinking, damn, what if I didn't listen? What if I didn't come? What if I didn't participate? It wouldn't be this big. I mean, no one paid attention to the fact that it was Joe Biden. It wasn't a regular citizen. It wasn't a regular police officer. It wasn't a local admin. Maybe it would have been kept a little bit quiet, but this is United States. That was federal business. And the thing about the feds like kites. You know, those things that look beautiful at the end and they have a string usually. They let him fly, not realizing that kites still exist, because everybody likes to fly drones. But that kite that those feds did put on this guy did attach to some others. So now we've got bows on the kite and the trail. So be careful whose play, whose lick, whose game you jump in on. Be careful. All money isn't good money. All connections aren't great connections. There's a hierarchy almost in every situation. In any structure, there's a chain of command. And you would be a fool to take any chain for granted, because it's a chain. It's a chain. Good morning to all my subs, to all the ones who like to visit, to ones who just came to see what's going on. What's that lady talking about? Hi, good morning. Happy Leo season. You guys are fast approaching the halfway mark. This year just started and it's almost over. We're getting ready to put the kids back in school. Can you believe it? It's a couple of days. The year is going so fast and so much is happening and so many distractions that if you don't take a time and a chance to smell the roses, you won't know about this year's harvest. You won't be included in the harvest. So pay attention. There's a harvest. All right. I woke up at 12:34. And then I looked at the clock again at 2:54. Those numbers are significant. I like the 12:34 because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, which is forward movement in succession, not even skipping a step. So that's great. But then I got names. Melvin, Marvin, Mervin, Monica, Michelle, Hawkins, Hopkins, Hodges, Hawkins, Hicks. Those are the names. Okay, so let me get my hat because Psalms 82, which is great right now. It's not long at all. It's short, straight to the point. Oh, yeah. I've been thinking about the phrase good morning. And you know, for a long time, a lot of people in my circle or people that have been around me, they've always questioned, what do we mean when we say good morning? Because morning can be mourning as in death. And what is so good about it? Give me a second. I forget what. I'll come up with it tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I don't work on tomorrow. Sunday. All right. So in the scripture, it says in the morning we groweth back up, but in the night we withereth and we go away. So every night is like a passing in the death of a day. And in the morning, you say good morning because you did some good morning, which was you did some good sleeping, which meant you did some good dying the night before. You put the end to the day. You put a death to the day. The days are gone. So going forward, you retain life every morning for every night you are put down from dusk to dawn. So that is the reason why the phrase or the terms good morning, that is the greeting. Not unless you'd like to skip past the grand rising, grandstanding, all that stuff and just say salutations. All right? There you go. So let's get my hat. Almost seems like someone knows my spiel. All right, so Psalms 82. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of ye are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Selah, so be it, so let it be. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Amen. And that was our portion of Psalms. Woo! Today is Friday, the wrapping up of a weekend. Well, a week. So now that you can get to the weekend, hopefully you're planning something beautiful, wonderful. Some of us do still have to work this weekend. Hopefully you're getting the rest that you need and you're eating some wonderful foods, okay? Be mindful of the petri dish that is your stomach. You're going to need that to push you through the rest of life. So, don't be so hopped up on presentation. Don't be so hopped up on flavors that you don't check the ingredients and make sure you're doing right for yourself. Remember, if you have any gluten or carbohydrate resistance, you may find it by the braille that might be at the end of your elbow. I seem to be absent. I don't have any gluten in my system, and I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates, so I don't have a lot to worry about. For those that do eat gluten and they're not exactly sure whether or not they are resistant to it, that is one of the ways that you can check it out. It also, depending on your makeup, the way you are made, heavenly, wonderfully made, um, pigmentation. Accelerated pigmentation also might be something, but that also might be something else to another skin condition. Be mindful, we're all made up wonderfully different. Okay, we are composed, we are personalized, we are customized, certainly by our own things, by our makeup, by our DNA, our families, our moms and dads, and certainly our environment does take a toll on that. So, make sure you're staying hydrated, you're eating your fruits and your vegetables, and you're mindful of what type of meats you're putting in, what type of proteins. It doesn't always have to be meat. I've met some people that eat tofu, and you wouldn't think it because they don't look like they have a very healthy diet. So, just because you're eating tofu and just because you're eating a certain diet doesn't mean that it always works for you. Be mindful of your makeup, your DNA, and your customization on this earth. You may want to check what your blood type is because that can be pivotal to your diet. If you've had a history of high blood pressure and high sugar in your family, those are things that you need to know so that you can adjust. And for some of us special ones, we've put an end to that. We've put an end to high blood pressure in our families. We've put an end to the sugars. We've put an end to a lot of things that came by way of generational curse by changing our diets, by changing the way we lived life, by changing our work habits and our work schedules. Some of us have been able to retain a little bit more life, which makes us live a little longer if you're not living for everyone else and you're living for yourself some more time. See, some of these jobs don't let you know that you're cutting your life short as you're extending our coffers, as you're extending our staff, as you're extending our resources. You might be cutting your life a little bit more short because now you're stressed out about things that have nothing to do with you and you don't actually get the whole entire benefit of it anyway. Sorry, did I say the quiet part out loud? Sometimes you have to realize that the job is a job and the job has a contract and the job is supposed to support itself on getting back up. The thing about it is the jobs don't work without the employees. But the employees also need to know that they need themselves in order to show up. If you're half dead, how are you coming to work alive? So maybe we'll find a happy medium where we'll find jobs and we'll find employment and we won't stay in places that make us feel miserable way too long. And we'll create situations where we can actually work somewhere that we enjoy. Or we start getting supervisors that do understand that clocking before you clock in, you're a human. And as you clock in, you're still a human. And before you clock out, you're still a human. And after you clock out, you're still a human. And you have needs just as well as the building, the job, and the contract. See, sometimes we get so busy worrying about things on this earth that we forget that we have other things to get to. This is just something in an interim. This is just the stop. So just be careful. Don't use your authority to ruin others. We have some people that get into some really huge positions and they forget that other people underneath them need to live just as much life as them, because they would not be able to sit on their britches, on that deck, on that Cape Cod. They wouldn't be able to sit where they are, not unless they had the support making the money underneath them that they needed. So maybe to someone's supervisor, someone's CEO, someone's operating manager, someone something, maybe you should remember right before you make those orders, right before you put in that last demand, think about the people that you need to get this done to make you feel good and look good, because HR is straight across the board. They just got to tell what's happening. Maybe if we were good people straight off the top, we wouldn't have to pick up dirt and rearrange and finagle people and manipulate situations that didn't need manipulating until you decided that you were going to be unfair somewhere, and then you were scared that it was going to come back on you. So now there's all these outside operations, and people's lives are being cut short because somebody just couldn't play by the book. They couldn't stick within the lines of things. Now, the people that's coming to work, they don't know that you've cut some corners somewhere and now you're trying to compensate, but they don't also know that they're compensating for something that they had nothing to do, that they did not benefit from. And this is the thing that I keep trying to get us. It started from somewhere. There's a source. There's someone who's benefiting while you got shorted. And I'm only talking about one single situation, but we all know that there are multiple and several and networks of this very same situation where someone's cutting corners and everyone's paying the cost. But not everyone is getting compensated. So I'll leave you with that thought as I start the tarot. Because consumerism. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to you all. Welcome, welcome. Leos, we have the foil deck, okay? It's one of my most fluid decks. It moves even when I'm not trying to move. I have small hands, so sometimes holding on to it is almost like the same as sand. It's like holding on to them tight, they're going to slide. They are very, very silky. They easily move. They're easily shuffled, okay? The bottom of the deck coming out was the Devo. I don't know. It's embarrassing. I haven't the slightest idea. He looks a bit creepy too. And he doesn't have on any pantaloons. None. No zapatos either. No pantalones. Alright, alright. So we've got the Three of Pentacles coming straight out. We've got the Hanged Man. And we've got the Ten of Swords. What happened overnight? We're going to find out what this is, because the Ten of Swords, Hanged Man, somebody's done something. I was just talking about a group and people coming in and jumping on board because they're so sure and they have a lot of confidence when it comes to the person who they've chosen to follow. However, sometimes the person that they've chosen to follow gets a bigger cut. And that's another, and this is how you have to watch. What goes up does come down, because the person that they follow gets a bigger cut. See, once they get a bigger cut on the upside, see, when it comes to the downside, they get a bigger cut. They get a bigger punishment. And that's what you have to be careful of, because some people can't handle they love the reward. They love the big reward, but they can't handle the equal size punishment that comes with the big reward. So some of them will try to break it down and try to make a plea deal and try to break it down amongst other people. Share the karma amongst others who haven't benefited so much. Looks like I got 10,000 off a job. You guys got 1,000 off of the job. But because I'm going to get 20 years and you all may get 10 to what, 2 to 3 years each, and maybe even get some time for what, forgiven and get probation, I don't want to do my 10 years, even though I got the 10,000 and I only gave you all one, right? So now I want to call in the DA and everybody because I don't want to do the 10 years myself. So I start to delegate some of my crimes to some of my cohorts. They can't say anything because I'm the big person and I'm trying to lessen the load on myself. And this is why you have to be very careful with going in, and your loyalty shouldn't be the equivalent of being dumb. Yeah, that part. So let's see what this Ten of Swords is about. Do not use your authority to ruin others. Use your power to heal and comfort others. Finding healing, regenerating yourself. Well, this is pretty dramatic looking for you to just be trying to regenerate yourself. Looks like there's a lot of swords in your back. Feeling a bit drained, aren't you? Somebody can't sleep with all the lights off in the house because they're very afraid that some is hitting the fan. They can't explain it, and they're basically probably going to blame it on the kids. The kids are scared of the dark. No, it's your grown ass because you like to play with shit that goes bump in the night. You just didn't think it would be going bump in your area. See, the thing about that is when you start talking to things, principalities, and all those things in the night, you have to wonder, there's a spiritual GPS being put onto you, because when that return to sender hits, they need to know where to go, because why putz around? I'm such a kid. I'm such a kidder. So we're going to start in Gemini, and then we're going to end in Taurus this morning. So Gemini, get in here. Three of Pentacles. What are you doing? Miss, ma'am, sir, what's going on? We are starting off in Mars, Capricorn, collaborating with others and dedication to work. Everybody you meet isn't for romance. You've got to get some business partners. And you've got to get some platonics. You've got to get a support system. You've got to do all of that. And maybe you don't have to, but it would be an improvement in your life if you had some kind of sounding board. Okay? So, right now, your spirit team is looking for you as you are trying to identify it. There will be people that are going to be coming through. They're going to be speaking some of the words because they've seen you before and they want to talk your lingo and act as though you guys had something in common. You're going to have to use your discernment because some people came to kill, steal, and destroy. Some did come to comfort you. Some just came to say hello and see if you really exist. They want to see if energy really exists. And that is okay. But what you need to know is if it is a long-term investment or if it is a short-term investment, don't be so quick to open up. Take time. Even with friendships, you still need to vet. So this is the time for you to hanged man. All situations aren't a green light. Take your time, stay on yellow, and never hesitate when it is red, okay? It doesn't have to be in bitter end, but end it has to. Yes, it doesn't have to be bitter, but sometimes it does have to end. And this is where we come in at, okay? Don't use your authority to ruin others. If you see that it's going bad and you guys aren't getting along, it's good to part ways amicably. For some people, they got to put the nail in the coffin. They've got to call you out of your name. They've got to give you a bad review. They've got to do something because you've marked them with your presence, so they have to mark your reputation. Because how dare you make me feel any kind of way that makes me feel uncomfortable. Please know when you're dealing with a person who just can't do it. Some people aren't really happy with themselves, so expecting them to be happy with anything of you, even though you are not offensive, is going to be like pulling teeth. Someone woke up today and they felt a little lighter. The reason why they felt a little lighter was because they're realizing that all the horrible dates and all the horrible friends and all the horrible jobs that they've been on, it wasn't really their fault. It didn't make them a bad person. Actually, it kind of made them the good person, because in hindsight, looking back at all the people who you came across who have offended you in some way, or you've had some type of negative interaction with, they're not doing any better than the last time you saw them. And even if they are, or perceived to be doing better than they are, they don't look as happy. And they didn't get as far as they thought they would by trying to do whatever it is that they did to you. And the fact that you didn't have a bad season after you left their presence means something. So kudos to you if you're also able to see yourself in that light. Sometimes we think we are the common denominator because there were people that grouped up unbeknownst to us. But one day you're going to realize that these people already knew each other and they planned to make you feel some kind of way. It really wasn't because of you. Sometimes it's because your greatness that people decide that they're going to sabotage you because they have to mark themselves in your presence. They want to be a page in your book. They want to be a sentence in your story. Give me a second. Someone's baby mother or baby daddy got hot breath. I'm gonna need you gone and shots fired. Okay? Yeah. So somebody is realizing that they're not a bad person. They're not a bad person in comparison to the situations that they've been through. The fact of the matter is there were people that were trying to prove that you were a bad person because you've been so good to so many people that they didn't believe that it was true. Some people tried to poke a hole in your reputation, and when they seen that they couldn't organically poke a hole in your reputation, they decided that they were going to plan to. They met up with people and they decided that they were going to keep trying and testing your actual true spirit as opposed to theirs, because it can't be. We're all jacked up people, so why should you be any different? And then they tried to make you just like them, and the fact that you still resisted made you horrible to them, because now they have to sit with themselves and look at themselves and realize, maybe I'm not the bee's knees. Maybe I'm not all that in a bag of chips if I have to chase this person to make them seem bad. Doesn't that really make you a bad person, wanting to destroy another person just for the satisfaction of your insecurity or your lack thereof of confidence? I mean, it would be just as easy to look away and find something else to do, or go and make yourself the greatness that you really think you are. That would be easier than pursuing a person who's still a stranger to you. Unbeknownst to you, they're still a stranger if they don't know you. If they don't know that you're totally invested in their goodness and their greatness because you lack it. But instead of you go be great somewhere else where someone will appreciate it, you endlessly pursue a person's reputation that has nothing to do with you. What they eat won't actually make you shit, but someone sold you that story. Hey, if you can make this person look bad, I will change your life. You already changing your life by taking that position. Now you look like a stalker. Now you look like a maniac. Now you look like a sick person, right with that person that made that request. Because they didn't really tell you that they were off the hook, unhinged and unbalanced when they decided that that was the pursuit. Why would your pursuit of happiness be the pursuit of someone's misery? Ask that question to yourself. Don't allow your perceived authority to ruin others, because in that moment you are ruining yourself. Now your reputation is a hater. Now your reputation is a people pleaser. Now you are a purple people eater. For what reason, we don't know. When I say it, I'm just saying you fashion yourself as a fashionable designer monster. Just like those designer drugs that came up. They say designer, but they're still drugs. Now you're a designer monster. Not fancy, just a monster. But it sounds more palatable if I say designer, now doesn't it? Don't let that go over your head. Some things are still same, they're still average, they're still low budget, low this, low that. It's just that when you put designer on it, you can fool anybody. Balenciaga. Sorry. That was the quiet part out loud. You saw how they had those holy homeless people clothes on sale for over $2,000 and $3,000, making a mockery plan in our faces. We walk past people dressed like that for less all the time, and they've suffered a lot more. And you want to put somebody in $4,000 worth of the same exact thing? You tried it with the tape and the damn garbage bag, and people actually went to buy it just to say they spent a lot of money on some garbage. Much like your boyfriend and your girlfriend, the current ones and the exes, they say the same thing. They spent a lot of money on some garbage. So remember, don't use your authority or your perceived authority. Some people really think that they are the boss. No one hired you. No one put you in that position. Why do you think you're a supervisor just because you have eyes in your nosy? Some of the best supervisors don't know what's going on the floor because they're too busy balancing the books. Because it's something called fiduciary, not judiciary, fiduciary. I'm going to implore you to look that word up. If you've ever had a job, if you've ever signed a contract, you need to know what this word fiduciary means. It means that there's someone that has been commissioned, that is getting paid to keep everything on path, no matter what. And it is your job to find out what fiduciary means and who the person is that's supposed to keep everything in line, who's supposed to be the sweeper. They're like the company cleaner-upper. And they follow the mission. The problem is, their mission is usually not exactly out front. You don't know what they're paid to clean up. You don't know the lines that they're supposed to keep straight. And 9 times out of 10, you're part of the lines that they may have to erase, eradicate, scrape up, something like that. So be aware of the word fiduciary, okay? All right, Gemini, we're going to wrap this one up because sometimes I stay long on the first sign because it gives me stuff to talk about. Okay, so there's groups. It's a stagnation, a collaboration. You are coming in to meet people. Now it's time to use your vetting process. You have been practiced. You've been looking. You know what to look for. You know what to listen for. You know what to smell for. You know what certain things look like. You also know patterns. So keep in mind all of those synchronicities as you travel through life, because now it's time to gather your new crew. You've left everyone of old behind. At least the ones that I'm talking to directly. You've cut off a lot of people. There are a lot of people that can't come back, can't spin the block, even when it comes to blood relatives. There are some people that just can't spin the block. They can't come up on your porch. They can't tap on your door. Not with their keys, not with a dime, not with their hand, not with a line. They can't even call you. It's not even to the point where you're going to turn off the lights when they come. You're just not going to answer the door. You're not going to pick up the phone. You'll look at it and you won't touch it. You won't even bother because you know what they bring. You're looking for new. You're looking for fresh. You're looking for something that aligns with you. Be careful of brandishing your heart right now. We're trying to recenter ourselves way before we try to center someone else. The people that you meet will be happy that it's not that deep, not so soon. They'll be happy that they get to be themselves without having to be performative because you may or may not. And no one's worried about may or may not be friends because they understand, well, this person isn't for me. That's not my person. That's a cool person, but we don't mesh well. And it's time for those conversations to be taken seriously again. Sometimes being exactly alike can push people away from each other, so you have to be sure of where you want to be. Do you want to be twinning? Some people like that sort of thing, and that's okay, but that's their group. Maybe you're the artsy club. You know, we had those cliques and those groups when we were growing up, not really understanding them, but knowing some people are butterflies. They can't attach to one group or another. Some people are their own groups. They go about pollinating each group, sharing information, and they are the interconnection to a lot of things. This is how the natural hierarchy of friendship works. People live and let live, and it seems as though we forgot as we grew up from children to retain the carefreeness that happened at lunch when you could go from table to table and nobody felt like you were killing them until they did because of the teen movies that came out that helped push that program. But honestly, when you were a kid, you weren't tethered to one group or another. You could visit this one, that one. You could be odd. You could be weird. You could be stern. You could be all these things. You could be emo. You could be Daria. You could be Beavis and Butthead. But now as an adult, you're expected to take things a little bit more seriously. And you should, of course, especially when it comes to your friends. You don't want a friend that would take you away from the carefreeness. You don't want a friend that would take you away from all the things that you love. You don't want a friend that tries to stifle you. You also don't want a friend that tries to gatekeep you. While discovering all the good things about you, they don't want no one else to come around. That's my friend. You can't be, come on! And you're being yanked away from a place where you were having fun because this person is very, very selfish. For some reason, I used to come across little girls like that. I would befriend them, and then they would be very possessive. And they would get upset with me when I wanted to go sit with their brothers and sisters and their mothers and everybody else in their family. And I just didn't want to follow you everywhere you went because I am not your doll. I am not your buddy. I am not a Chucky. I am not your Barbie. Are you upset because your dad never broke through on that promise of a Barbie, and now you're running around torturing people because you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas or that birthday or that something? So now you've become a horrible friend to all the people around you, and no one knows that the real reason why you can't be good to anyone in your circle is because you're still hurt about something no one knows about. Not even the person who actually offended you. Maybe your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, because you didn't deal with that. And it's okay because some of us didn't know how to deal with it at that time. But it's unfair for a lot of us adults right now to have to be dealing with someone who never got over that Barbie that they didn't get, who never got over that race car, who never got over that train track, who never got over some entitled, spoiled kids' inability to let things go as they grow. There's some kind of entitled child here that's allowing their authority to ruin others. They're allowing their perceived authority, their entitlement, their spoiledness. Someone's coddled them too much and it's going out of control. Maybe some people were nice to you and they shouldn't have. They should have told you, get away, little girl. You're bossy. You talk too much. You're loud. You steal. We don't know. Get away, little girl. Get away, little boy. You're loud. You're bossy. You steal. You're boisterous. You're always picking. You're always doing something. And maybe someone said, oh, we're going to let them because they're an only child, or because this and this happened, and they kept making excuses for the bad behavior. And now you're an adult with horrible behavior and people hate to see you coming, but some people just play along to get along because maybe there is a benefit to your madness, but they don't really like you. And the good people that would come around don't come around because there are too many people like you. And that makes really good collective people start to run and hide from people because we don't want to be kept by people like you. Because if you should ever meet a good person, you'll destroy them. You'll stick a proverbial straw into their backside and suck them dry because they have everything that you want and everything that you need spiritually, emotionally, intellectually. They may not have all the materialistic things because you're the entitled, spoiled one, and you'll argue anybody out of their pants, their drawers, their shoes, their money, their wallet, their hat, their mind. You're exhausting. And for the collective, we're not running from you. We don't like that sort of pointless, endless confrontation because you have a point to prove that it's not nilch. You're an argumentative zombie. Why are you talking so much about nothing so long just to exhaust me so that I can say, okay, here, you can have it. People are separating themselves from exhausting people like that. People that have to have it their way. People that have to have everything. People that have to have all the attention. People that have to have. Eventually they'll have everything and nobody will want to be over there because they're happy having your absence. Some people are willing to give you everything just to get you away from them. And that should say something to you. But because your brain is off balance, you're dancing around with your booty, your treasure that you've gotten by default. Because if they had to part with their riches to get you away from them, they're just telling you, take it and go. Now you're on an island of stuff feeling lonely. At first, when you did it, you really wanted company. You liked the argument. You liked the back and forth. At first, you did. But now that you found yourself on the island and you started to, ooh, I got all they stuff. I got all they stuff. Now you're realizing, what's the point of having all that stuff if you have no one to show it to or enjoy it with? You lost focus, didn't you? You thought you were exhausting people to the point where you were going to have a bunch of friends sitting there. Now all you've got is a bunch of material things, and some of it is costume jewelry. But you got it. You wanted it. You had to have everything that you wanted, not realizing that you were separating yourself from the actual thing that you did want from the beginning, which was company, which was a support system, which were people to listen to, which was a sounding board. But now you don't have that. Because you wanted the things. You argued about the things and you never told anyone you loved them. You didn't tell anyone the reason why you were being such a cad was because you needed a hug, you needed a love, you wanted a kiss. You didn't tell anybody that the reason why is because you didn't feel loved when you didn't get that thing from the person that was supposed to bring it to you. So now you just argue with people because you refuse to let go of that small hurt. You forget to let go of the Tonka truck and the Barbie. Not knowing that it was way bigger than the Barbie and the Tonka truck. You wanted that person to keep a promise. And the one person that broke that promise to you didn't understand that they released hell on earth, which is you. And now you're an adult creating hell on earth everywhere you go because of that one little hurt. Now you're hurting everybody. Please go get your own fucking Barbie in your own damn truck and leave people alone. Okay, that was Gemini. Let's go. Don't allow your authority to ruin others. 3, the hangman is 12, which makes that 15, which turns that into 25 because of the 10, which makes that 7, a complete cycle. Someone is really learning that who they are is not who they want it to be long term, and it's not going to work out long term. They're going to grow enough to realize that they have not built anything but a horrible, very, very selfish reputation. They're childish. Someone's childhood traumas have played into their adult life, and they have affected a lot of people with their childhood trauma. Someone should have been on that couch daggone 30, 40, 50 years ago, and they refused to go. They put quite a few people on that couch, though. Okay, so now we've got some cancers, the lovers. Oh, somebody's learning tarot, or they're listening, or they're learning from tarot. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the community. Hopefully you're not here gathering information to see what you can make happen in the negative, okay? Hopefully you're here so that you can bring up the vibration of the universe and the collective, and not here to take down some people. You know, there are some karmics. They are very dedicated. You know, the devil knows the Bible as well. You know, they have to be well versed when they're trying to come against their adversaries. So everybody get a shot. Give a shout out to the karmics who have come to be nosy, not knowing that eventually they're going to be coming right back to the very place that they tried to destroy to get answers for themselves. Hi. Hi, haters. We did read in the Bible. God had haters. It says so. What did we read? We were reading Psalms 80. I think it was 80 or an 81. Yeah, we read that. Psalms 81. He has haters. God has haters, okay? So if you love God, you're one of God's kids, and you know that you are made in his likeness, unfortunately, you're going to have haters too. They're not haters so in a sense to where, you know, you want to do all the, you know, the shallow stuff. They're haters in the sense they hate the way we speak. They hate the way we love. They hate the way that we can enjoy a good word. They hate the peace that God brings us. They hate that they can't enjoy it the way we enjoy it. But why? But why you can't enjoy it? Why you fighting against the happiness and the wholeness that is the Lord? What's going on, babes? We not asking you to be Christian. We not asking you to change what you subscribe to. What we having you understand is that you didn't wake up of your own volition. Somebody put your mom and your dad here, and then the parents that got them, like somebody did place the chicken and the egg simultaneously. And it wasn't you. So why you not grateful for that? You opening your eyes, you breathing. You didn't have to pay a bill for that, because God knows you got to pay a bill. Once you finish that, everything else is a bill. So be happy with the things that you have that seem a bit free right now, which is the blinking of the eyes. Some of us can walk. Some of us has arms. Everybody don't have the same things. But you got something right now that you could be very happy for, that you didn't even have to pay a subscription for. So, and this why God got haters, is because he cool. And people be like, why you so cool when I'm suffering? Well, that's because that's all you do is pay attention to the suffering. You never take any note of the things that you got good, and that's why the suffering grows on you so much, because you live in there, you dwell in the suffering. You don't never take a break and go sit up under that tree over there that's free. You want to drive the monster with the gas all the time. You build your own suffering and then get mad at us because we be chilling for free. What? You weird. You is a weird. You ain't happy unless you burning energy, huh? Okay, okay. I see what you got going on there. You like deficits. Okay, okay. Well, here's the thing about fiduciary. We got a few contracts we've got over here, collective. We've got a fiduciary contract to keep it up with the Lord, okay? To keep it up with the universe, to keep coming back and letting people know the goodness and the fullness of the Lord therein. How good it feels to be in his wonderful embrace. How good it is to know that there are some dangers that have been kept from you, even if he cloaked them from you, because he knew your mind would not be able to handle it and it would still keep asking, but why, Lord? Why? He cloaked you from that. He cloaked you from that endless headache that could happen. Sometimes he lets you see exactly how bad it could go so that you could remember to be grateful and to remember to sing praises, because it could have been much worse. Okay, Cancer? So somebody is definitely learning. If they're not learning tarot, they're learning the nature of it. It is not inherently a bad thing. It is about the person. Just like every person with a gun ain't bad, but bad things can happen with a gun. So you have to be careful when you pick up anything, okay? Because there are things that can be turned for bad, which were started off as good, okay? So somebody's trying to learn, whether they're learning it for the goodness or for the badness. Hey, at least they're learning. You just be aware of yourself, be self-aware, and stay authentic. Can't nobody push you out your truth. It's when you start telling lies is when your foundation gets a bit shaky. So someone's trying to escape escapism. Somebody does escape by going into their meditation. They do have things that they do. They go touch grass. They go meditate. They go and read. They have a hobby. They get to work. They play with their kids. They go clean their house. Somebody does escape all the nastiness of the world and the things that people think that they know that they don't know anything about, by going and being true to them. Somebody loves themselves enough to know that there are people who know better but don't do better. There are people that are into the same exact things, but they do it for the wrong reasons. So they feel as though they can make you look bad because they know a few details, but you don't operate like them. And they're trying to switch the signals. So this is why some of the karmics come here hoping to twist our words up, hoping to use our lingo, hoping to use something that we have in a negative way so that it makes us look like we have common familiarities, but we're not common familiar at all, because we're not going over to their environments, over to their think tanks, over to their chats, trying to figure out what they got going on so that we can bring it over to us. We are over here existing and they're coming over to us and being nosy. They're looking in our windows. They're passing by our cars. They're looking at our children. They're trying to get into our phones, our devices. They're trying to get into our business and find out what it is they can do to twist up our lives to make us look a little bit more like them. But we're us. And this is why they have to spy. This is why they have to be secret squirrels. This is why they have to cloak and say, oh, they my friends over there, even though I'm over here, because I just want to see what they got going on. I'm going to come over there and tell you what they doing. You see, there are double agents in every walk of life. There are people in every walk of life. Shoot, I seen a bum betray another bum the other day for a cigarette. He got up from wherever the sleep encampment was with his old lady. And he walked over to another guy who had some cigarettes. He had some loose ones. And when he got out of earshot of the encampment with his old lady, he said, "Man, can I get me one of them? Cause when I smoke with her, she smoked the whole entire thing. She don't never see me over." Now this is his partner. This is the person that he folds these things up with. This is the person that he has to get up and vacate the premises with every other day. This is his partner. This is his ride or die. But he was willing to throw her under the bus just to get a couple puffs off of a cancer stick. You see? So when she wakes up, she's probably going to be pissed because he smells like he had some fresh smoke and he didn't even bring her a piece of cigarette. So she's been betrayed in her sleep. Nothing in her, nothing in him told him to hold her off, keep her a piece of cigarette because that's his partner. There are people that betray you for small things. And yes, they can get bigger. But that was just an example of how a person will just quickly throw you under the bus for small benefits. So you can only imagine how a person would throw you under the bus for bigger ones. So now when she wakes up and she smells the smoke on him, much like Sam the Wise and what's his face in Lord of the Rings, I forget what his name was, Frodo. They may get into an argument because I was getting rest and you mean to tell me you went and got things without me and you didn't share and I'm your partner. And she'll never know about the conversation that was had by her, but the guy that's sitting there across the way is looking at them both now. And he's laughing a little bit because he remembered what her partner said to him in order to get him to share his cigarettes. Now that can go both ways. He can use that information and never go over and let him have any cigarette ever again, knowing that he would screw his own partner, so of course he's nobody. Or he can be happy about the separation of the two between the cigarette. Because some people are like that. It all depends. This is why you have to be very easy and very, 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 very careful. Because some people get knowledge that way. Because now that person knows something that the lady doesn't know. She's been betrayed in her sleep. And he'll leverage her while she's sleeping. That's important information to know. But now that lady knows something too. Is that it doesn't matter if she's his partner. He'll get ahead without her. And that's some knowledge for her to move accordingly. But the one common denominator, which is the guy, who does benefit from the company of the girl, who did benefit from the cigarette from the guy, seems like he's got some work to do. Why are you in a relationship? You need a cigarette. You're in a horrible situation making it bad because now your partner probably doesn't want to be with you because you can't even share even when it isn't yours. There's a lot to go through with that one. So you be careful who you share with, who you bring in, who you break bread with. Because as the lovers, you know there are people that are going to be trying to learn you, trying to be learning to your lingo so that they can mirror your escapism and so that they can escape into you because you are a bit of a vacation. You are a bit refreshing because everyone else does not quite be like you. Those are the words that they would say to you. You've got that something. There's something about you and you are not realizing that this person is lining you up for something else. They're just in your business, learning your habits, learning your ways, learning your speech, learning your talk, learning how to stretch out next to you much like a snake so that they can turn around and conquer you. So you be careful with people learning you, stretching out next to you. You be careful who you go into partnership with. You watch for those unfair moments. You watch for when it's not quite right, because that right there lets you learn. When she woke up and saw that she was not looked out for in her sleep in your absence, that's when you know you don't have a partner, because even in your absence, you're supposed to be looked out for. Even as bad as the situation was, a puff or two should have been safe for her. I don't care how much he was upset. Why didn't he? She's his partner. And vice versa. Because there are some women that do go and get a whole bunch of stuff and they hurry up. They'll go to a restaurant and they'll eat all the food in the car, and then they'll go in the house and pretend like they're hungry because they didn't want everybody else to eat what they ate, or go where they went, or know where they went and who they were with. It's the same way. Hope this helps. Cancer. Someone does escapism. Someone goes to where they get their needs met and then they come back. They learn other people, and this is what they do. It's like a serial imposter. It's like a pathological liar that lives a double life. And the double life is like, there are a lot of people that live this life. They're like gypsies. Somebody is a gypsy spirit. They don't never have a place to live, but they always got a place to go. They always got a place to go lay down, and they're always picking up people's things along the way. That's how they get through life. Mimicking and copying people and borrowing. They have nowhere to put, no foundation, no actual real address. Your address is their address for as long as they are there. There's somebody that's a grown traveling vagabond gypsy type of person, but you'd never know it because they like to play with smoke and mirrors a lot. They mirror you so good that you believe that they're of the same caliber of you, but they're not. They just borrowed it from the last few people that they were around. And this is how they've lived their life all their life. This person is taking quite a lot from people in their travels. Sometimes it's enough to live off of, and sometimes it's just enough to get to the next victim. There are a lot of people like this. There are a lot of people using love and knowledge for escapism, but they exist a miserable existence. They use people as mini vacations. They're always up for a honeymoon phase, but they're never there for the long term. The minute the honeymoon is over, they are too. They've broken up with a lot of families. They've even left or created some, but those families didn't know that they were just a thing that happens. A casualty in the mix. Ouch. Someone is definitely a rolling stone. Okay, this is the Cancer reading. We got 6 and 8. 68, 86. Someone's 68. This is the Cancer reading. Cancer, Gemini. I think this is I think Virgo is this 8 of cups. Let me see. No, the 8 of cups is Pisces. So we got Gemini, Pisces in this Cancer reading. Yeah. Somebody's very, very, very... This is a gypsy. This is a pathological liar. Somebody is an avid traveler. They gets around. Yeah. That's the Cancer. Let me get out of that. Woo! All right. Okay, Leo. Betty Pomegranate Leo. Whatever happened to that drink? Did something happen to it? I never had it. I just like the commercial. All right, so then we've got the Ten of Swords coming out here, not letting your authority ruin others, the Hanged Man, and then the Ace of Swords. So there's mental clarity about someone who actually did that. So somebody of high power, of high access, of high something did try to ruin people and try to cause stagnation. And now there are some people that are starting to become clear as to what happened. Somebody's about to follow the cord, follow the strings to exactly who this person is. There's a person of high honor who did use their authority to ruin others. They're in the hangman position because, one, they're worried. They're starting to realize that they might not have hid their footsteps. There's a trail that people can follow toward them. And they did try and attempt to stagnate some people. And the mental clarity is coming across the board. A lot of people are starting to look their direction. If not their direction directly, they're working their way to, which means people are starting to ask questions. They're starting to cross-reference what happened, what didn't happen, versus, yeah. People are starting to compare notes, and it's about to be coming clear as to who this person is who tried to use their authority, their John Hancock, their phone calls, whatever it is they do to delegate. This person is about to be, yeah, impaled on the sword of truth. All right, so they're going to be trying to save face. We've got the 1, the 12, and we've got the 10. 10 plus 12 is 22, plus 1, 23, which is 5. Unexpected changes. Yeah. Well, you don't need a spell for that. Even though you do need a maverick spirit. You might want to put something extra in there and then see if they have a reaction. Just make sure it's not going to be an allergic reaction and make them need an EpiPen or an actual stomach pump. Put it that way. Or you could just put your needle somewhere else. All right, somebody's up front. 7 of Cups, and we've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got the 2 of Swords. So somebody's deadlocked on a decision. The 7 of Cups is illusions, dreams of grandeur. The Knight of Cups, let's see. 7 of Cups is always allow yourself to dream. The wrong page. Allow yourself to dream. Dreams open new channels of ideas, creative ideas, and produce magnificent results. Magnificent adults. They actually do if you're following your dreams. Okay, so wishful thinking, making choices. So someone has choices. They have options. And they also have some things that they'd like to do. They have desires. And the Knight of Cups is here to say what? Embrace your love, trust your partner the most, and trust your partner the most. You can create your heaven if you apply yourself fully at this moment. Showing charm, feeling idealistic, okay? Somebody, these desires are actual desires. So somebody is desiring you at this moment. They want to charm you in a way. So this is a deadlock decision. All right. So this is where we are. Okay. Boom. I'm going to show you the cards. Someone's desires are to come in and give you a romantic offer. They're deadlocked. They don't know if you're going to take it. They're not confident. They don't know if they look good, smell good. They don't know if they're going to say the right words. They don't know if you're going to call them a goofy. Someone is very, very nervous when it comes to you. They're deadlocked. They don't know. They don't want to be made a fool out of. They don't want to. They're not really good with rejection. As an adult, I'm going to say this. Men and women, get over it. Okay? The worst a person can say is no. The last thing you want to do is keep worrying about what if, what if, what if. Should have, could have, would have, okay? The worst a person can say is no. And for the ones who already know is no, because of whatever reason, because some people already know it's a no, they just tell themselves that they've got to try. The deadlock decision. Now, if it's an old person that is an ex already, 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. I don't know what your plight is. I don't know what the last meeting is. This is all up to you. But someone's deadlocked because they don't know if you're going to take their offer. Somebody wants to offer you something. For the South Node people, they want to offer you their body parts. Okay, I don't know if they claim them. I don't know if they're sharing them with other people. That's for you to discern. But somebody wants to offer you their body parts. And for some of our others, somebody wants to offer you marriage. Somebody wants to marry you. Somebody wants to start a family. No, it's not going to happen just like the microwave. You don't just add water and stir and it's going to be there. No, somebody wants to come in and build a life with you. Somebody wants to know all about everything. They desire you. Now, that's for the North Noders. For the South Noders, somebody wants to bang. And they want to come in and give you an offer. And they're hoping that it leads to some hot, steamy Netflix. And they're hoping you got a subscription. I'm just going to keep it a buck. It's a knight. It's not a king. Now, for the North Node knights, this person wants to get to know you, and that's the knight energy. This person wants to grow into the King of Cups with you. This person wants to learn you. They're not coming in very carnal. They're not coming in looking to jump into bed with you. They're coming in because they want to grow up. They don't want to be a knight anymore. They want to be a husband and husband material. So these are the two offers that are here. Someone wants to come in and date you and maybe get to knock the boots and say that they had an experience with you, because that's as much as they have to offer. They're still a knight. Some people like to be knights. They just want to come in, give you the energy, and leave. If that's what you're into, that's you. But for this other person, this person wants to grow with you. This person wants to come in young energy, but they want to grow old with you. Okay, so they want to go into a king of cups situation with you. They come in as a knight and they want to grow up with you. And they have a cup, which means not only are they offering something, they're going to need some give and take from you. Now, when it's a king, he has everything. It's either you're going to come and we align or we're not. When it comes to a knight, this is a build-up. You got to grow. You got to build. You got to learn a lot of stuff, okay? So this is up to you, but right now this is a deadlock decision. And you make it, okay? All right. So that was the Leo. So we've got the 2, we've got the 7, and we've got the Knight of Cups. The 2 and the 7 is 9. So somebody is praying that you take their offer, and somebody is praying you don't show up and ask them nothing. That was Leo. That was the Leo reading. Sun, Moon, Rising. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. All right, so we have in the Virgo, somebody is very studious when it comes to tarot. So somebody is watching tarot readings and they're trying to steal your lover or your romantic conquest or options. Someone is coming around your social media, your page, your environment, your car, your business, or something, and they're hoping to see who you catching and pitching to. They're hoping to see who you dating now. If you no longer dating ratchets, they want to see if you're not dating ratchets. If you dating ratchets, they want to see if you dating ratchets. They want to see who are you giving attention to, or who's at least a possibility. One, because they either want to ruin your reputation with them, or they want to steal them from you, or they want to pass on the information who would do the exact same. So, right now, in Virgo, we have somebody who's really trying to learn how to be you. Someone's either trying to learn how to be you, learn what your options are, or learn how you're getting your options. Someone's trying to steal your secret sauce. They would love to know what soap you use and what ratio to lotion, to deodorant, to perfume, to this you use. They love to know how you wash up, because baby, it's the way you wash up would get them what you got. They're trying to think, do you wash your right arm first or do you do your left arm first? Because I've got to know how you do it. Do you jump in your pants or do you use one leg at a time? Somebody is studying to steal. Whether it be financial, romantic, plutonic, someone is coming to steal. Whether it be your intellect, they are coming to steal. Someone is studying the way you love yourself and who your lovers are. Someone's trying to learn you inside out because they want to steal. This is Aquarius energy. We got Gemini energy back out here. We've got learning the world of tarot. That means there is somebody poking around trying to learn everything about you front to back, because they're not happy with being them, or the person they're with is not happy with them, so they got to be somebody else to stay in this relationship. That is the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. You are cosplaying in your relationship. You know the person that you with don't like you, yet you still there trying to be somebody else that you ain't. You's a damn sicko. You know how much you got to hate yourself to try to operate in somebody else's essence and skin, because the person that you with won't stay with you, not unless you pretend to be somebody else. That is self-hate to the max. So somebody's got to watch another dude, another woman. Somebody's got to do all that to please the person that they're with, because the person that they're with don't like them. And they know it. They don't like themselves. So that's why they're actually happy to take on the essence of someone else, because they don't like them either. Somebody needs to really have an evaluation. Somebody needs to be put all the way in the back room, where the guy that plays with his eyeball stays. Yeah, he needs to stay with that person. Somebody needs to get a Hannibal Lecter suit, because what the hell? And their partner need to go in the floor above them. Somebody batshit crazy, and somebody's been enabling them because they benefit from them being the batshit crazy person that they are. They think it's goddamn hilarious that this fool would actually wholeheartedly go hard like this, being an empty vessel, letting a person download whatever type of program they want into them. It's like a real life sim. I know I said back a few readings back, somebody's like a real life voodoo doll. Like whatever somebody tells them to do, they're like, yes, master. You like it like this? Idiot. All right, Virgo. So somebody's a donut. Somebody's been emptied out to be reprogrammed, and they don't even understand that this is what happened. Somebody took on some form of brainwashing, and the form of brainwashing is so damn good that they don't even know that they're not even operating naturally. Somebody is effectively marionetting another person. They are dance, dance, dance. Like somebody's really crazy like that. Like really. Somebody is being a puppet Bernie Mac and Samuel Jackson, when they decided that, when they went in the showbiz together, snap with your things and I'll do what you want. I'm your puppet. Hey. Somebody's robotic like that too. They don't even understand that they're not running the program. 9 times out of 10, this person's spirit is so disturbed that they really don't know that they not running their self. Somebody is doing things out of operation and they don't understand why they can't stop at a certain point. It's because they're not in control. But yeah, somebody is studying someone to steal everything. This is everything. You see how they looking back at them two swords? That's because they want to take them too. They didn't want to leave anything. Somebody's studying to steal everything. And they're using love and relationships and things of that nature as the cloak. That's the cloak. You be careful. They got some weird ass married couples out here. I'm trying to tell you. The woman weak, the man weak, and they just need a third party to make them strong and make them love each other again or help them with their bills or whatever. There are some weirdos. They just meet partners in crime, okay? They don't take nothing for granted. Some people only got married so that they can't testify against each other. I told you, there are some shut the F up marriages out here. They ain't married because of love. They married because of fealty. They married because they in it to win it. They're married because the left hand let the right hand know what was happening. And the right hand said, yeah, I'ma tell. And the left hand said, no, you ain't. We getting married. You ain't telling shit. Libra? My wrist started itching. This wrist and this wrist started itching. So I don't know who's clanked together, who's cuffed together, whose bedfellows. This just happened. Just this itched. My wrist. By the way, you did just see the evil eye. Because I ain't got time for that. Ain't got time for that. Alright, Libra, let's go. Happy Friday. Today is Friday the 14th. Not the 13th. The next one we'll have is coming soon. I think we have another Friday the 13th coming in November. So far, we've already had 2. All right, we've got the 3 of Swords. Libra, what's going on? We've got the 3 of Swords. There's heartbreak, anxiety, something like that. Knight of Swords, and we've got the Ace of Cups. Here we go at night. Excuse me. So we've got some immature love. We've got some heartbreak. Somebody's being immature and somebody's very clear about it, okay? Hey, I know that's right. Beep, beep. All right, so we've got the 3 of Swords. I think that's a Libra energy as well. This is the Libra reading. And then we've got the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is basically having ambition and coming in. So somebody's a bumbling idiot. And somebody's starting to realize that the love that they have is an immature love. And it's not going to get them anywhere. And they're starting to realize it. When it comes to love, they're not good at it. I love, I'm just fucking bad at it. I'm just silly making up this bad habit. I keep messing up my love life. Yeah, somebody loves love, but they're freaking bad at it, okay? Somebody's horrible. But they love trying it. They love being in the honeymoon phase. I mentioned this earlier. Somebody only survives the honeymoon phase because they really even shouldn't be introducing themselves together to anybody. Somebody sucks. Somebody needs to go on and convert to monkism because they're ruining people's lives. And if they're not ruining people's lives, the next person the person that they leave always ends up in a better situation. Even if they end up in a shelter, that shit's better than them. God damn, somebody's horrible. Somebody can't keep it together for the life of them. Even if it just doesn't matter. Somebody just can't get through the introductory, save the space to save their life. All right, so here we go. As we know, every time you start up something new, The spirit of Asmodeus does come. Asmodeus, you can look it up. It's something that happens for 3 years. It's a demon that comes out 3 years for your new beginnings. And if you happen to actually survive through the 3 years, Asmodeus lets up, okay? So somebody keeps having to start over, and Asmodeus is loving this person. They're following him all around because he's getting a lot of goddamn energy off of this person because they're always in the beginning of something. So Asmodeus is definitely big in winning because there are some people that just can't get through shit for the life of them. They're not faithful. They don't hold tight to anything. So if you've managed to do anything consistently for 3 years, guess what? Asmodeus is starting to let up off of that. Not saying that you didn't start anything else that he could have messed with. I'm just saying that some of the things that you've managed to keep hold of for over 3 years, they're no longer being bothered. Now you've got to worry about the things that are still young yet. There are people that are going to keep attacking it. There are people that are going to question it. If you can manage to stay the course for at least 3 years, things will change. This is a lot of things people don't know when it comes to marriage, when it comes to friendship, when it comes to a new environment, neighborhood, businesses. It takes about 3 years to perfect. But you also have to pay attention to the details, the synchronicities, and when it's time to go. 3 years is a long time for some people. It's a short time when people are committed to themselves. Time goes like that. But when it comes to strife, if you can manage to hold the fort for 3 years, things do get easier. It's just that Asmodeus knows, just like God knows, that 3 years is a lot for a person who is susceptible to temptation, for a person who has not perfected 1 month, 1 moment, 1 hour. 3 years can be a whole lifetime to some and an interval to others. This is why you have to learn to steadfast and be consistent with yourself. A lot of times people are way too determined to be consistent with other people before they even learn to be consistent with themselves. Can you take on something and keep it going through all the trials and tribulations and not change paths? A lot of people can't do that. That's why 3 years has been the thing. Asmodeus has won a lot of battles because people just can't make it through 3 years. Some of you can make it on your job for 3 years because of money, but you can't make it through your life for 3 years. You can't make it through a partnership for 3 years. You can't make it through a car for 3 years. You can't make it through an apartment for 3 years. You can't make it through a house for 3 years. Some people can't make it through 3 years for anything, and this is why a lot of people stay with that, in that cycle of Asmodeus. If he could keep you in that 3-year cycle, keep starting you over before your 3 years starts, he gets to stay. And it's something that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know about Asmodeus and your new beginnings, and that's the trial that you have to get through. He loves to attack relationships, especially when it's a relationship that where a person might get to grow. He's got to attack that, because if you could get 2 people on the same team and they actually stay consistent for 3 years, he's in trouble, because you just might create other people, or you just might help other people stay the course for 3 years. So now there's more people he can't keep putting on this 3-year recycle cycle. So he gets nervous when you almost hit that 3-year thing. He's got to unleash everything to hit you, because that means there's one more place he can't be. So now that you know about this 3-year demon cycle thing, and I'm not lying to you, you can check source, check spirit. It's called Asmodeus, and you can see how he operates. Google will tell you too. I checked over there. But yes, this is why the power of 3. So somebody's been on this reverberating cycle, and they don't know that they have introduced so many people to Asmodeus, and so many people don't know his name. It's like having Rumpelstiltskin around, and he's laughing his ass off because you don't know his name. He like, they don't know. I'm staying. I get to stay because they can't play right. They're almost guaranteed to start over. They're going to stay in this cycle. I get to stay with you forever. Because guess what? You don't know my name. Oh, you thought we had a Rumpelstiltskin. We do. It's Asmodeus. You didn't know the principle that you had to fight against because a lot of people weren't supposed to tell you that he comes. And he doesn't leave if you can't get him to leave, but you don't know the timing. I won't be mentioning this again, okay? Because it's privy. So yeah, Libra, somebody loves, but they're freaking bad at it. And people are starting to realize that every time that they come into someone's life, even their family members, people that aren't even in a relationship with, they're starting to realize that every person this person touches starts going through hell for a long period of time until they find themselves attached to someone, and then they get mad because a lot of people leave them and actually go into successful relationships. After being drugged through hell, people know what hell looks like. So they avoid hell and they end up getting married. So somebody's also starting to realize that they are almost more than likely the last mistake people make. Once people get out of this person's hands in life and they go make a life for themselves, never to return back to hell again. And the person's so sick that they think that they're right for doing this. If I would have never gave you hell, you wouldn't have never. No. Don't look at it like that. Because the thing about it, while you're over there bragging, if I would have never gave you hell, you would have never found your partner. No. Because while you're dancing and trying to take credit off of somebody's push off the calm of water, you're still in hell. So, here's the thing. Maybe you don't know you're an advocate, the D's advocate. Or maybe you don't know that you're him himself. He's actually manifested himself through your vessel. I've said too much. It's becoming very clear to someone that they may have been with the devil. Or at least the closest embodiment there is to it. Okay? Somebody's starting to be very clear that they were actually in bed with an actual demon that found some flesh to exist in. I can't tell you how appalled I was. The number there was 3, divine intervention. That was the 3 of hearts, the 3 of swords. And if you wanted to count the ace in that would have made it a foundation. So that was the foundation. That person was a straight up demon. Someone didn't know that they came into a relationship. They came into union with a demon. And the demon treated them so horribly, so bad that they had no other choice but to wait for real love. That person put so much hell through their life, they had to wait for Boaz. They had to wait for Boaz. There's no way that you can't tell between bad love and good love once you come across that person. All right, so now we're in Scorpio, and why the foundation came straight out. 4 of Wands and the 2 that's balanced, and then the Queen of Pentacles comes straight out. Okay, Scorpio, we've got 4, which your foundation. You are balancing your foundation. Maybe you had an experience with Osmodeus too. A lot of us have. A lot of us did not know what it was because of Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, consumerism. Yeah. Queen of Pentacles, nurturing, abundant, healthy, unbiased, very, very, very knowing. So, someone's foundation is definitely balancing out as they return to their throne and start working on their financing and restoring the greatness to the kingdom that is their own. Someone is doing a nice, beautiful job of cleaning up their whole environment after such a trying trial with such an experience. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, my dear. I'm sure there's a 1-800 number somewhere so that you can be compensated for your troubles. I'm sure there's a 1-800 number for all of us. We've all been through the spirit of Osmodeus in the last few years. There have been so many new beginnings that we've been forced to go through due to governmental changes, jobs, COVID, all these things, the new hierarchy. The kids got a new grading system that basically is letting us know that they're about to drop their brains in a bucket somewhere. There's a lot going on that we have to balance, but we're doing a great job cleaning up. Once we get the last bit of trash swept out of the curb, put it in bags, and send it off to the landfill, we'll be doing very good. Everybody's looking to restore their foundation, how they want to build. Some people are tearing down so that they can build back up because they don't even know what the hell is under there. Is it sand? Is it rocks? Is it pebbles? What were we building on top of? Some were building on a house of cards. Some was building on half-truths and house of lies, okay? A house of cards, lies, something very flimsy. Sand, it was shifting every time you turned around. Someone built their whole hut on feelings, okay? 28 phases of the moons, you can't even be sure how they're going to feel. If it's going to be a sliver of a moon, full moon, an eclipse, anything like that. So we're cleaning up our environments, or at least starting to find out what the environment was even made of in the first place, okay? So Scorpio, be easy with yourself as this 4 and this 2 meets a 6, which is equal give and take to the universe. Do unto others as you would have done to you, or else do nothing. And I mean nothing. The way I said it, I like that. Nothing. That. Yeah, that. Okay? So, go forward, Scorpio. Be great. Reestablish yourself. Don't be afraid to break it all up. Sometimes you have to break it all down to build it all up. To know where the structure is. To know how things were placed. You understand? So that you can know what your personal grid is. And what the fall through, what the breakthrough. What's easiest for you. What your layout is. Sometimes you have to be assertive when it comes to building your foundation. Sure, we would like to come into things that are already established, but as we know, some things have to be updated. Some things have to be torn down because the old frame will not suffice for the new life that you need to be building, okay? So don't be afraid to start from scratch building your own, but it is your foundation. It is really up to you what it is made out of, okay? Remember the 3 little pigs? This came through like this. It was like that at first, yeah. It's a little moth. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful, right? I love it. Okay, so let's go, Sagittarius. Let's go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm smiling so bad because there seems to be a doomster in the chat. This lets me know I'm alive. So that makes you a Scorpio? Because you're not a Sagittarius. Hold up, let me see. I want to put it in the... Let me see. I was going to put it in the chat, but... Okay. So, ASMODIUS. Temperance, the star, Sagittarius. Hi, boo. You know you my twin sign, right? I be laughing. Temperance, the star, and the emperor. Somebody needs to hold tight. They are a main character, or at least they are the main focus at the time being right now. And the emperor, leader. Either you are a leader, or you're about to meet a leader, or you're a leader that needs a leader, or you're a leader that's about to meet a leader, or the opposite around. There's a leader that wants to meet you. Either way, there's greatness in these cards. Temperance. Temperance. Now, I don't know what's going on, but the person for you is about to meet you. And I don't know how your temperament's going to be. I don't know if you're going to be smiling. I don't know if you're going to be slightly irritated. But remember to be you and be balanced. But remember to not be too extreme, because you may be coming across your empress, your emperor very, very soon. You are looking pretty shining there, but someone loves the way you smell when you walk by. Someone likes the way they feel when you show up. They like the twinkle in your eyes. They like that thing you do when you make that face that you make. They like the way you walk. And even if they don't know how you walk, they like the idea of having a chance to walk with you. Someone wants to hold your hand. Someone wants to make other people jealous. Someone wants to talk to you in an intimate setting. They want to smile and be able to brush their hand gently across whatever fabric you're wearing. Someone sees you as a star. Someone likes to say your name. Someone has actually written your name next to theirs before, maybe more than once. Someone likes your name. Someone likes how other people melt down when you are mentioned. Someone likes the way other people react to you. Someone's also likes a little mess. They're a little messy. Not the bad messy, a toxic messy. They like that other people come undone when they hear that you may possibly show up or be included or be invited or be something in something. They like how other people seem to readjust. Someone likes your star power. They like that you are the main character energy. They like that some people don't want you to come because they want those people to leave anyway. Someone likes you. Temperance. They like the way you behave. They like the way that they act. They like the way that other people act around you. Somebody really likes you. I don't know who you are, sir. I don't know who you are, ma'am, but somebody has got it in for you. They really like you. They like the idea of you. I don't know if you've met this person yet. I don't know if they see you in passing. I don't know if they inquire about you. I don't know if they watch you on social media. I don't know if they know where you live. I don't know if they're in your town. I don't know. But somebody really, 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 really likes you. And if this person ever meets you, it'll be a forever meeting. Now, I don't know if this is platonic. I don't know if this is romantic. I don't know if this is business. I don't know if this is just a person who is just a beautiful person to have in a person's life. Because it does happen where you can get a person in your life that's beautiful all the way, but it's never been romantic, and it doesn't have to be. I think those are the best ones. The people who you never have to outrightly offend, but you do know that you guys can disagree at times, but it's still beautiful because you don't have to part ways and you don't have to leave, because everybody's happy with who they are and who they ain't. But they much rather have you to disagree with than others. There's somebody who is unanimously your person, even if it is not romantic. It's just a person that was ultimately assigned to you by way of energy and frequency. You think about the same things, you talk about the same things, however you kind of have a different little spin on it, but it's not too egregious, not too bad. It's like a comfortable pushback. Like, yeah, okay. So my way doesn't always have to be the way, but this is a cool way to be. Ah, this is beautiful energy. This is a great friendship. This is nice. This is kinship, partnership, companionship. This is, hey, you want to dig in the dirt with me? Sure, I'll bring a shovel. We're planting heirloom tomatoes. Just in case it's that one morbid person on there. And they even can accept a morbid joke because they know that you're just playing. But you tease a lot too. Somebody's a great person. I like this energy, Sagittarius. Let's keep this. So we've got 14, 17, and 4. Let's see what the numbers take us. 14, 17, and 4. 14, that's Temperance. And we've got the 17, which is the Star. Then we've got the Emperor, which is the 4. Now, let's put the 4 with the Temperance, and let's make that 18. So 18 plus 17. So 7 plus 8 makes that about 15. So we put the 5 there. So then that makes that 45, which makes that a 9. Somebody 45 or 54? The person born in 76. How old are you? Ain't that about right? Be sure to talk to other people in the chat, not just me, because I have a feeling that there will be some couples that come together in my chat. That would be cool. That would be lovely. Because we're mostly like-minded. I want to do the math. 3918, no leg up, parasites, IBS, and Alice. No, that's 35. That's 8. Karma Dharma. Karma Dharma. I added a 1, that's why. It was 35, that's why I like to write it down. That's Karma Dharma. Be sure what side you're on. $35 or 53. So it only took us down one number, which would have been 45. Because of that extra one I added, but it turned into 35, so it's 53 or 35. Someone is 53. 53 has been the number for some time now. Let me see something. Yeah. So it is the 50s. Okay. Good morning, little one. Temperance, the star, Sagittarius. That's what's happening now. For some reason, throughout all these events, there was a lot of spiritual yoking that happened. It's just that people didn't know that they were actually equally yoked. There are some people that didn't even understand what yoking was until they got to this chat, and now they're starting to consider the facts. Don't forget that name I gave you. That's going to be the main person attacking all of your friends and everybody around you. He's going to be coming through, and all of your friends and your animals, even kids. He's going to jump into everything to get you to stay in this cycle of 3. But this right here, these people actually get together. They can conquer any 3 that you put against them. They can conquer the first 3 of friendship, the next 3 of relationship, the next 3 with the kids, the first kid, the second kid, maybe the third kid, however you want. They can conquer the 3. They can conquer the business. They can conquer anything. They can conquer that new degree you want. They can conquer that new job you want, that new thing. Yeah. These people that are yoking in my chats that are coming to our environments, because I'll say this is our page. There will be some unions that's going to come straight from Empress Nix's page. We're all early risers, which means that we're doers, we're not don'ters. So we're almost always in alignment because we don't let the sun come up on us. We're up before the sun comes up. That takes a certain sort of discipline and a certain sort of character. That means that you're responsible at the least. So that means you can get the most. You know the early bird catches the worm if you wanted worms. The rest of the cranberries. Yeah. This feels whole. This feels good. This feels calm. This feels perfect. This feels like the best time to go set up the fishing rod. Why do I want to go fishing? I put on my own worms. Oh yeah. This is a beautiful feeling. Sagittarius, you've got some greatness going on. We've got the 35, which is the whole entire number, which was the 14, the 5, and the 14, the 4, and the 17. So we've got 35, which is 8B on the right side of karma. So that means that you are experiencing dharma in your relationships and your connections. Be aware, be advised, use discernment. This is a beautiful, beautiful energy. I'm loving it for us. I see a lot of beautiful unions coming together, even if they don't make it down the aisle, even though I'm very sure that we have at least 3 to 4 people, 3 to 4 relationships coming about. 3 to 4. I have 3 to 4 solid ones in my energy right now that are going to be coming between now and December. Congratulations on your new union. It would be wonderful if you all make it to marriage, but it's just as well if you all make it to a common agreement of consistency. Okay, so that was the Sagittarius reading. Yes, that was a beautiful reading. That is something's about to come together, and it's going to be gorgeous. All right, I think this is wonderful. Let them know in the chat. This is where a lot of people are going to find their other half. I remember I did hook this one lady up with this guy, and they were the only thing they really had in common was height. Honestly, I saw them, and I used to sit with the lady, and I met the guy a few times, and the way his bravado was, the way he was, it's like I knew exactly who to take him to. I put these two together. I swear to you, they are not only married, but they are successful. Even though I'm no longer in contact with them because of other communication reasons, there were a few relationships that I did put in. I did join in union, although there were somebody that came together and tried to make it seem as though it was something that it wasn't. But I'm very happy about putting people together, and they stay together and they're happy, and nobody's gone to jail and nobody's dying. Great. So yes, I am able to do that. So if anybody loves love and they like the transparency it takes to love yourself in order to even give someone access to love you, then you'll more than likely find someone to be yoked with here. Okay? Knight of Swords, Wounded Warrior, Escapism. Okay, so somebody wants to be gentle as they come in ambitiously. Um, they've been through a lot. And right now they're seeking vacation. It's like they want to run from their whole life. They want to run from the life that they've made to another life. Someone wants to perform an escapism. Someone wants to get away. Someone needs a vacation. You might need a vacation. I'm telling you, after this year, you might need a vacation. Someone needs a vacation, though. But somebody is definitely been through a lot and they're ready to leave. They're ready to leave their old life. It's given them nothing. It's done nothing for them. They're tired of their own ways. They're tired of themselves. Somebody's so damn tired, they're tired of themselves. Sometimes they look at themselves in the mirror and they say, you. If it wasn't for you. And they're very aware that they're talking to themselves. Yeah, somebody is starting to not like the way that they operate. It's like there's some kind of self-sabotage button that they're not aware that is on default and it's being pressed every time. So they're sick of it. And they want to go somewhere and they really want somebody to tell them what to do, because at this point they really feel as though they're giving themselves the worst advice in the world, which probably they have. But it's not to say that they can't change these things. So somebody may need to do a lot of shadow work, a lot of introspection. They may need to go on I want to say pilgrimage, but that doesn't seem like enough. Like they've got to go on a trek. They've got to do some things. Maybe stay away from relationships for a while and start building a relationship with themselves so they can learn not to betray themselves. And maybe if they learn not to betray themselves, they wouldn't be so easily caught up and easy to betray other people. You know, some people, when they can't trust themselves with themselves, they can't be trusted with other people. It's not because they meant it that way. It's just that this is just the way that they operate. It's like their leg was put on the right, their right leg was put on the left socket and their left leg was put on the right socket. And they just operate backwards. I remember there was a soccer player that played on my estranged son's soccer team. I used to call the little boy wrong leg. They got me put off the team because he pissed me off one day. He gets on there and he's chasing the ball and we're already losing. And he was out on the outskirts. He was on the bench for a while and he wanted to get in and pissed me off because he scored for the wrong team. He scored for the other side. And I called him wrong leg. It was impulsively, but it was the wrong fucking leg in the wrong goddamn way for the wrong damn team. And I was pissed because our power forward had did so much work to get the ball positioned in the right way, and the boy had a great kick. Justin? No, he doesn't play for the Ravens, but no, it was a young kid. And he had a really strong kick, but what good was the damn kick if you kicked on the wrong side and made the damn team lose? So yes, I called him wrong leg and all the kids because They were being taught by a jelly bat that I had to go because I was telling the truth. Still the wrong damn way. So I went and sat in the car and let them lose in peace. Because that's what you gotta do when you become a sports mom. Sometimes you gotta sit there and you gotta let your kid lose in peace. When they're so validated by their group who are losing unanimously, sometimes you've got to go on and let your kid become a loser. You didn't raise them that way. You gave them all the tips and all the advice they needed. But sometimes when they go in with groups that tend to do wrong things and tend to have backwards thinking that seem to be impulsive, and your kid looks at you and tells you you are the worst person in the world and I want to go and sit with the losers, you let them. And you don't attach yourself, you don't follow them, you don't intervene, you don't bother. Because then you'll be even worse if you do say something. You'll be something else. So when you see someone in your life picks the wrong side and fights you tooth and nail to be over there, you let them. Because whether that was a blood relative or not, you're no longer equally yoked. And it is no longer your responsibility outside of yourself to try to control someone who's eventually going to keep doing and do more of what they want to do anyway, whether it is losing or going the wrong way. So you see, the right person doesn't always deliver the message in the way that is suitable to the people who want to be wrong in peace. Sometimes your right message, your truth can be offensive to a person who wants to live a lie and is comfortable with it. And you have to be okay with that. And walk off. Sure, people will try to validate making the wrong decisions by making you seem like you are the worst person in the world. But you also have to be okay with that, because as much as you are a villain in their story, they are a villain in yours. And that is fair. That is fair. So Capricorn, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the nine of Wands, and we have the Eight of Cups, which is escapism. Someone is very stubborn, because Capricorn is stubborn energy, it is devil energy, it is addiction, it is fixation, it is self-sabotage, it is shadow self, it is all that. So somebody, Sun, Moon, Rising, has definitely committed themselves to the mediocre. And now they feel as though they want to escape. They want to go hide. They don't like what they've built. They want to walk away from it. They'd rather be with you. They'd rather be anywhere else but with them right now, because with them right now is embarrassing. So someone sits with their hand in their face in their hand. Someone's probably on the toilet right now doing the thinking man, because they're trying to figure out, how did this get so far? And that is the Capricorn reading. We've got the 9 and the 8, and we've got 17. So somebody has become the main character to their own downfall. Look nowhere else. It was you. All right, Aquarius, let's go. Our last one will be Taurus, because I started in Gemini. Oh boy, oh boy. Somebody doesn't like that. Ah, boy. Life sometimes it gets you. It really does. You got to pay attention to these things. The Hangman, which is 12. We've got the 7 of Wands, and we've got the 2 of Wands. We've got a lot of communication, a lot of action needing to be taken. But why are we stagnated with the Hangman? Somebody's being held up. Hold up, hold up. Hey, if a nigga go too soft, we don't play. So get ready for the next episode. Hey. I don't know why I've been doing the chronic. I've been singing the chronic for the last few days, maybe a month. It just be coming out. Dun, 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 dun. West Side, West Coast Connection, something like that. Snoop Dogg, Easy E, Das Effects. I don't know why I'm over there on the West Coast. Somebody has a chronic disease, something about chronic, something about the West Coast. Crip walking, somebody's got a messed up gait, something wrong with somebody's feet. A gang? Something about a gang? Because we're talking about the chronic. We're talking about Nate Dogg, Snoop. Somebody rock a set, rep a set. Something about a bandana. There's a lot of shit going on. But we got the Hangman, the 7 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands. Communication and action. The 7 of Wands is holding up somebody's barriers. And the 2 of Wands is preparedness, planning and preparedness. So somebody's stuck holding up their barriers because of somebody's plans. Someone's is stagnated. They have boundaries. They got to create extra boundaries because somebody's plans. Somebody's trying to get prepared. Somebody's anticipating something. This is what I got. What you say? It's never too early to listen to gangster music. Gangster has no timing. How dare you? It's gangster o'clock. Because you got to go hard to get up this early. Because we go hard out there, pimp. Because he's got to get his money for the rent. For the Cadillac and gas money spent. Ain't got a whole lot of talking shit. Woo! Hey, we ain't playing with him. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, man. Terrence Howard. Somebody's a fake ass thug. Come on, man. Shorty want to be a thug. All right, so Barry Pomegranate me up. That was just to break up the monotony. Okay, so somebody's in a hangman. They've got to keep up their boundaries because of somebody's plans. Somebody has anticipation. Somebody has anxiety. Somebody doesn't know what somebody's planning. Somebody went into something and the situation is getting out of hand and they don't really know what to do right now. They're lost their way. They went into it, but they don't know what to do now. It's got me playing in my hair. So somebody's stressed. Somebody's racking their head right now. They thinking. They pulling on their head too. Let me stop pulling on mine. Yeah. This is brain racking to somebody. That they've got to keep their boundaries up because they don't know in which direction this person is coming from. They don't know who they might send. See, when they were a part of it and they were part of the legion that might get sent out, it was different. But now that they might be the person that might get attacked, this shit don't hit the same. Now do it. Sure don't. It's a little mouthy moth in here. And he been crawling around. I want to get him. I want to catch him, but he's too quick. All right, let me see if I can get him now. Did I get him? I got him. Sometimes my reflexes be good enough. I caught a fly the other day. I went straight like I didn't know I was going to do it, but I turned around and went, and he was in my hand. And I was like, just like him. Reflexes is getting a lot better. I'm liking this. Ninja style. Let me go wash my hands because this is nasty. Ninja style. But I'm glad my reflexes is quick enough to catch some of these suckers sometimes. That's what's up. Haha. Yeah. Karate Kid that. How that for Jaden Smith? I'm strong. I'm silly too. All right, Aquarius. Blip, 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 blip. So you got the Hangman. Somebody got to stay in position. They got to get ready, stay ready, and they've got to keep their head on a swivel because right now they stagnated. They can't make moves. The money done probably slowed down. Something is at a standstill, and somebody is like a sitting duck. Ah. So somebody else is like a sitting duck too. Quack, quack, quack. Oh gosh. All right, now we've got Pisces. Whoa, Pisces. You flipping. Pisces flipping right now. Okay. Pisces, you're disconnected. You're trying to close your eyes. Somebody's trying to nam your heart and get killed, nam your heart and get killed, nam your. It's still happening. Nam your heart and get killed, nam your heart and get killed. Somebody think they're going to chant this shit away, don't you? You think you're going to keep doing whatever it is you've been doing, and you're going to do it so long, and you're going to stay so disconnected, and you're going to stay under that tree long enough to where you're going to get up, and all this shit is going to be wrapped up and tied up, tight in the bow, and all neat like you wanted it when you open your eyes again. You's a damn fool. All right, so somebody's secret squirreling themselves away. They're trying to hide. They're trying to cloak. They're trying to disconnect. They're trying to look as though they are trying to touch grass when really they're wishing that all this shit would just go away. Somebody's tired. Okay, the Chariot. Okay, the Chariot. Somebody is definitely damn tired. The Chariot is coming. Something is fast coming. You ready for whatever's coming fast? Because somebody, what do you bastards call them? I wouldn't do that, but y'all called them. Somebody made a deal with him down there, him downstairs. See, y'all kids went looking for some milk and cookies. And him downstairs was downstairs. And y'all went looking for some cookies. And him downstairs said you can get cookies if you can do A, B, C, and D. And what y'all did was y'all tried to go and do A, B, C, and D. Him downstairs told you to do it. And you got upset when you got to the last assignment that him downstairs told you to do. And he came collecting, eating your cookies. The very cookies that you did the whole deed from. You wasn't never going to get the cookies because you made a deal with him downstairs. The cookies was never for you. Him downstairs bought them. He only needed you to do his deeds, do his chores for him, because he didn't want to do them. But you were so wholeheartedly ready to put your hands in dirt. Now you sitting here because you know him down here coming to collect, even if he did trick you. He want to know if you did what he told you to do. And you ain't getting them cookies neither. So somebody is the little bow-legged child from the story. All right, so yeah, Pisces, you're disconnected right now. Things are moving a little bit too fast and out of your control. Something about your shadow self, addictions, restrictions, depression, materialism, voyeurism, voyeurism. That's something, but I don't think that's directly connected to you. Not unless you and somebody, you're a swinger or something, and you basically misled somebody. That's the only thing I can think of. You've been binding people to one another, and you've been misleading people, ultimately putting them into self-sacrificial relationships for your benefit. Doesn't matter if the relationships work or not. Doesn't matter if kids, families, or anything is destroyed. Everything was for your benefit. So somebody has been binding people and doing the devil's work and thought that they was going to get a crown throne position. Um, you was a earn person for the bad guy, for him downstairs. You was doing the devil's work, and you wanted reward for that. I mean, you might get closer to him, but you ain't getting closer to him. You think he gonna let you make a mockery of his institution, which is hard to get people down anyway. It's hard to get people down the lane, the marriage. It's hard to get people to love Island. It's hard to get people to really commit and do the right thing and have a good family and take care of their kids and not commit adultery. But you actually set them up for those things. You boast and brag. You actually are the running commercial for all sin. And what you and the devil set up, that you would look like you were okay in your marriage, even if you weren't. And that was the deal that you signed. You signed the deal to kill, steal, and destroy everybody's life. You decided that you were going to go against all holy unions. You were going to promote voyeurism, child corn. You were going to basically be on the same side of SA. You were the one that actually had people encouraged to go the wrong way. You saw lots of marriages breaking down. You didn't tell any of the wives. You didn't say anything to the husbands. You actually redirected them to better prospects. Yes, you did. You did a lot of breaking up of marriages and families and putting kids into CPS and suggesting it. You did a lot with coaching people into taking people's custody. You did a lot with coaching people into CPS. You did a lot with getting people locked up. You did a lot with telling people that they were going to be unalived. You did a lot to get them unalived. You made a lot of phone calls suggesting that people be targeted. You made suggestions that people be set up. You made suggestions that people be saboteured. Yet you think you are supposed to be rewarded in the end. Yes, this Pisces, my friend, you're sitting there looking disconnected is because your soul has been consumed by the cookie eater. And it's moving fast in your realm. You're afraid right now because the part that you played up here on this earth for him downstairs has ultimately gotten you a seat somewhere that you don't want to tell everybody that you're headed to. You'd like to take this secret to your grave. But fortunately and unfortunately for you, some people actually do know which direction your ending is going in. Because there are too many victims from your deeds. There are too many broken homes, messed up children, widows and widowers. There are too many people that have gone to illicit drug use because they could not fight against things that they didn't know, because they didn't know it was you, because every time they saw you, you told them you cared. You told them that you wanted better for them. You told everybody that you cared, that you put aside money, that you helped, that you sent this, that you tried to feed them. You lied. You wanted yourself to seem great, but you were tearing down everybody who you discussed. Some people hate that you know their name, yet alone their face, because to know you is to be damned and cursed, because you want nothing for no one and everything for yourself. To be with you is a trade in life, period. Being in your energy is a drain because you are only seeking to see what you could get and take and trade and barter. There is a Pisces who is basically sitting there waiting for their time to come because there is nowhere to run. And the Chariot is coming. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry you home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry you home. Somebody else ain't going to the upper room. Okay, then we've got Pisces, the 4, we've got the 7, and we've got the Devil, okay? The Devil is Capricorn, the 4 of Cups. Let me make sure I know exactly what this is. The 4 of Cups is represented by the Cancer. So we've got Cancer. This is a Pisces reading. The Devil is Capricorn. And the Chariot is what I believe. It's the 7. So it's Cancer too. We got Devil on the Cancer in this Pisces reading. Cancer, which means there's a lot of drowning emotion. The Pisces is detached emotion. The Cancer is lots of detached moment, and the Devil is shadow self and the dragging. Someone's soul is down in the depths, okay? All right, and this is fast moving for them. So my condolences to this person. This is a prepaid message. That was Pisces. Take what resonates. Sun, Moon, Rising. 4 plus 7 plus 15. 4 and 7 is 11 plus 15. That is 26, which is 8, which is karma. Be on the right side of karma. That is not dharma. That is karma. And I pick up the cards and I see 16 at the bottom. That is the Tower moment. Someone is going down. All right, Aries, we've got Taurus left. That is it. After Aries, we've got Taurus left. We came around the mountain now, didn't we come? She was coming around the mountain, here she comes. She was coming around the mountain, she was coming around the mountain, she was coming around the mountain, here she comes. Yeehaw! I love country music. Okay, so the 7 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. Wish for fulfillment. Someone is watching their garden grow. They're watching their business grow. They're watching their hope grow. They're watching their love grow. Somebody is watching everything that they have planted. They're watching their mustard seeds grow. 7 of them. Someone is watching their harvest. They've planted seeds so long ago. They've tilled. They've gone through hard soil. They've gone through winters. They have gone through famine. They've gone through things coming through the garden and eating all the harvest at times, having to start over. But now they're finally starting to see the fruits of their labor. They're watching it diligently because they know if they take their eyes off of it, someone would come and sabotage it. And now they are going through the nostalgia of their dreams. They have dreamed of this moment all their life. Because for this moment, I just feel so alive. 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 And in this moment, every day I survive. Alive. Alive. Hey, they just had this moment. All right. So now we've got wish fulfillment here. And that was the 7 and the 6. And the 7 and the 6 was 13. Death unto themselves. And then the 10 makes that what? 23, which is unexpected changes. They will be changing in the positive. Sure, there will be negative things trying to happen, but if you can remember your temperance, how you react to things, surely you can turn limes and lemon into lemonade and have a much richer, more alkaline experience. But beautiful. That was the Aries reading, okay? All right, let's go. 5 unexpected changes. All right, Taurian, let's go. Come on, Taurus. Taurian. I remember I knew a person named Taurin. Torin. And then I knew a person named Tauren, Taurin. There's somebody named Loretta, Lor something. Now we've got the 10 of Cups coming back out. Then we've got the Queen of Wands and we've got the 8 out. Queen. The wish fulfillment right now is for you to leave. Someone is going off to calmer waters. They're relocating. They're moving maybe to another state, city, another country. Or maybe they're just moving on in life. They're off to different ventures and upgrades and journeys and things of that nature. Someone is going on something that's going to seem like a permanent vacation, but no. You've already done a lot of the heavy lifting in your life, so now the next 10 years, 10 to 15 years is going to feel like you are on a permanent vacation, because now that you know how to navigate this thing called life, you know how to steer yourself away from things that you no longer like, okay? So in this Taurus reading, we have a wish fulfillment. We have the Queen of Wands. Be advised that there is no gender in tarot, bullshit, and bitches, okay? You can be a man, you can be a woman, and go through the same exact things. But right now, we have the Queen of Wands, and we have this 8 of Cups. This 8 of Cups has been coming out a lot. There are vacations, there are escapisms, there's people that want to get away from the thing that they built. There are some people that just want to get away. I want to get away. I want to fly away. Yeah. Somebody wants to feel as free as Lenny Kravitz's hair. They want to feel as free as Lenny Kravitz is. They want to be free like that. They want to be free to express themselves. They want to be free to be rude if they just need a moment to just express that. Somebody just needs a moment to just get out of the confinements of whatever it is they built. They just need an escape. Some people just need a vacation, and some people are just moving on to calmer waters. They've lived their first half of life in a sea of conflict, and the rest should be smooth sailing. All right, that was the last one. That is the Taurian reading. Hopefully this helped. You enjoyed the way I put it down, how very, very animated I can definitely be. There will be days when I'm straightforward. I don't know when that comes. But until then, you have fun, my friend. This has been wonderful, a wonderful experience. I'm looking for my heart. If you're wondering why I'm looking around because I'm looking for my heart. Anybody got a heart? Anybody got a heart? I do. And so until next time, it's been wonderful going through the reasons for the seasons with you. The reason for the season is definitely gratitude. That's our attitude. That's our longitude and our latitude. See you next time.